Hey, what is up, you guys? It's Dustin and I am back with another video, and in this video I want to talk about how I may be being silenced by another large creator. So if you are here for that, stay tuned to this video. So some of you guys have followed me for a very long time and some of you guys have not. I just want to bring up that I have been doing YouTube for 8 years now. It was just recently my channel's birthday and I posted on my community tab about it, and I wanted to thank all of you guys for all the nice comments that you guys left me. And honestly, I'm bringing this up because over the time that I've been here on YouTube, you guys know that I have really tried my best to hold James Charles's feet to the fire when it comes to the allegations that have been made against him, the things that he's admitted, and all of that. I don't have to go into the nuance of it, right? But I've also made a lot of videos about a lot of different people over my tenure here on YouTube as well, like Trisha Paytas, Jeffree Star, Manny MUA, Laura Lee, all these people. So there has probably been a lot of doors that have closed for me just for me being as vocal as I am about the things that I see and witness go on YouTube and on social media in general. And if you're not picking up what I'm laying down here, I have made a lot of enemies along the way, and that's fine. We're all going to be the villain in somebody's story regardless of how we live our lives anyway. But recently I have posted a lot of TikToks about James Charles. I've been very vocal about James Charles, specifically with his music launch. You guys know the video before the last video that I posted, I talked about James Charles and this weird ass song that he came out with, and I exposed all of these tweets that he had posted several years ago that kind of lined up with the song. Well, I went over to TikTok and I posted that over there, and it got numbers. It got a lot of views, it got a lot of likes, and it got a lot of interaction, and there was a lot of people wondering who the Alabama boy was, which I kind of anticipated because people forgot all about that, right? Well, that post ended up getting flagged for some reason and it was removed, and they said that my account violated community terms. For what though, I don't know, because it was literally just the tweets that James Charles posted. I didn't add anything to them, I didn't subtract anything from them. It was literally just receipts. So I got this warning, and of course I did an appeal, and they came back in like 5 minutes and said that the post was restored. I thought everything was fine, I thought everything was Gucci, I thought everything was kosher, I thought I was just going to be able to go and post TikToks. But girl, I was wrong. The other day, I believe it was like the day before yesterday, I was scrolling TikTok, I put my phone down to do something, I came back to pick up my phone and scroll TikTok some more, and it logged me out. And when I tried to log back in, it said that my account had been banned. Now, I'm not saying this is James Charles because there's a high likelihood that it's not, but what I am saying is it probably is some of his Stan followers, and girl, they went and got me. And I don't know if it's because they're wanting to silence me, but I was literally just showing the receipts.
Receipts, proof, timeline, screenshots, everything.
And I wanted to bring that up because it's a slow news day. Before you get your panties in a wad and leave me a hate comment, it's my channel, I can do whatever I want. But I just found that weird, and I wanted to know what you guys think about it down below, because I think it's suspicious. I think it's a little bit weird, but I do think that it is something that happens a lot with TikTok. That is one of the least reliable platforms I have ever had anyway. But I did make a new one. If you guys are interested in following it, I'll have it linked down below. Instead of Dustin Dailey 1, it is now Dustin Dailey 2. But I posted on Instagram and Twitter asking you guys if you wanted to ask me any questions, because I haven't done a Q&A in a very, very, very long time. So I decided that I would include that in this video as well. So someone said, are you and Nick in your permanent home now? Sending lots of good vibes your way. Yes, we have been in our home now for about 3.5, 4 months. I love it so much. It's one of my favorite houses that we've ever lived in. Maybe one day we'll be able to show you guys. I don't know, because there's some very weird people out there that like to stalk my social media, but we'll see. Someone asked me, would you make a reaction video to Sloan's exposing myself video?
I do not want to comment.
Why? Why?
No. Someone asked, what story do you wish you covered you could have done differently? Honestly, I'll probably get a lot of hate for this and a lot of heat, and it's probably Gabby Hanna, because I understand now what she was probably going through, because looking back on it now in retrospect, that is someone that was like truly going through it, and I hate that I added to it, because as you guys know, over the past couple years myself, I've been going through it mentally, so I can only imagine having the whole internet on you at that point in time. Now, I'm not excusing the things that Gabby did at all whatsoever, but I'm saying maybe the way I delivered things and the way I covered it, I could have done it a little bit better. I have addressed this several times in different videos. I do have a lot of regrets in regards to some of the content that I posted, and I feel like I've always done a good job of addressing it, especially in regards to Gabby. There's several videos where I've talked about it. What is the wildest redneck thing you have ever seen? Now, I don't know if this is redneck so much as it is just trash flashy. I remember being in like, I think the 8th grade, and my sister got into it because somebody slashed her tires. Like all 4 of her tires were slashed, and she thought my brother did it, and she came in the house and she threw a punch at my brother, and my brother like threw her backwards, and she did like a flip backwards out of the front door of the living room and fell down the front steps, and they were tussling. I'm not saying this is okay, but this is what happened. This is my lived experience. The kids in the neighborhood had seen all of that. I got dragged and ridiculed on my ride to school because everybody's seen it. It was quite embarrassing. I do not recommend it. 0 stars. If YouTube wasn't a thing, what would your career have been? Honestly, that's a very hard question for me to answer because there was 13 years of my life that I wasted that I will never get back. But in that time, I did end up working in communications, and I was very into it. I loved the job that I had when I worked for the internet company, but that company ended up getting acquired by Spectrum. And if you know anything about Spectrum, they ruined it. And it came down to me leaving that. And that's when I started YouTube full time, and I've been doing it ever since. And that's how I say you guys changed my life and how I will forever be indebted to you guys, because I could not do that job mentally anymore. But if I had to go back into the workforce now, knowing what I know with everything that I've done since, I would probably want to work with like a brand and be like a social media ambassador, or work with brands and help them develop like commercials and things like that. That would be something that I would be into. I love that kind of stuff. What do you think about Little Tay coming for JoJo on Twitter? I think it was funny. The fact that Little Tay can write her music and JoJo Siwa can't, and the fact that Little Tay called her out the way she did and said not to compare her to other people. I love it. I don't like being compared to other people either, especially when they're shit people. So I'm on Little Tay's side. Someone asked me how I am, and I'm doing pretty good if I'm being honest. I'm in a great headspace. It's been kind of rough here lately, but I feel like I'm managing it. I'm reading, I'm meditating, I'm working out, I'm doing the things that I need to do to make me a better person. So I would say that I'm doing pretty okay. Thank you for asking. So I just answered a few of the Instagram questions. Now I'm going to answer a few of the Twitter questions. Malcolm said, who will be the big drama in 2024? And honestly, it's looking to be like James. I feel like James Charles is going to fumble again. I feel like he's going to slip up. I feel like he's going to get exposed again, probably for the same thing or maybe something else new. I don't know. Maybe Jeffree Star will leak the voice memo that he's touted for years. I don't know, but I feel like that story is not done yet. I feel like we haven't seen the end of it, especially with Tati admitting that she watches drama channels now talking about Jeffree Star and James Charles. I feel like something's brewing because we are coming up on the June 30th date of breaking my silence. We still have a couple of months, and we all know that Tati likes to do things in cycles, so we'll see. Maybe it'll be Tati. I don't know. Pompey says, when will we ever see the Everglades vlog? Girl, I don't know when or if I will ever go to the Everglades. That place looks scary. There's crocodiles, alligators, there's all kinds of things that could eat me there, and that's not the way I want to be eaten, baby. Kate said, what is a true crime case that stays in the back of your mind and sometimes keeps you awake at night? Probably right now at this specific moment is the Madeline Murray O'Hare case, because I've been working on a video for that for some time now. I'm just really perplexed as to how somebody that could be such a big instrumental role in some of the rights that we have here in America when it comes to separation of church and state, how she was literally villainized for wanting prayer out of schools. And then like years and years and years later, she was like abducted and murdered, and her case was not talked about hardly at all because people hated her so much for having prayer removed from schools. Like, that is just bizarre and crazy. And even still to this day on videos about her, there's hate comments about how awful she was just because she wanted to uphold the separation between church and state. So I feel like that's very important, and that's why I'm working on a video about Madeline Murray O'Hare, because I think that her story needs to be told a lot more, and it's a true crime case that a lot of people really don't talk about and they don't know about because people hated her so much. Talk of the Town said, how do you guys like living in Florida? I love living in Florida. It's beautiful here. The energy is great. It's not like Texas. I hated living in Texas. I met some amazing and great people while I lived there and made friends with them, but as far as wanting to live there, I would never live there again. I love Florida. And if Nick and I leave Florida again, we're going back to Nevada, which is probably kind of a goal for us. Sketchy said, I've seen you and Nick talk about playing Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. What other games do you guys like to play? Well, we used to play Dead by Daylight a lot, but that kind of got like monotonous and boring and old because we played it for so many years. And then Texas Chainsaw Massacre came out. We love playing that and we play that a lot. But recently I've been playing Dead Rising 3. That was a great game. I wish they would come out with a new one. And I've been wanting to get back into Fallout. I used to play Fallout 4 a lot. I really like 76, but when I lost my PlayStation 4 in the fire, I lost all of my save data because now I play on a PC and it doesn't transfer over. So I have to start over again. And that's kind of been like a big deterrent for me. And I want to watch that new series. It looks so good. Do any of you guys play Fallout that would like to play with me? Rose said the worst YouTube drama ever witnessed. I would say probably the James Charles stuff because we've never seen anybody get canceled in that amount of time just to turn around and come back and be forgiven so quickly. I will never understand that. That is one of the worst dramas because there was so many videos going up about James Charles at one time. It was in the news, it was in the media, it was literally everywhere. And I don't think we're ever going to get a drama like that again. If you remember, Jeffree Star said that they almost shut down all of their channels because this drama was so big and so impactful. We can even still see the ripples of that today, the way that rules are made here on YouTube. Miranda asked, what are your favorite movies, any genre? I like really old 80s camp movies like Killer Party, Night of the Comet, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and things like that. Prom Night, that's an iconic one. I like old campy horror. They just don't make movies like that anymore. Everything's so high definition. It doesn't look cheesy. Like you can't even have a TV have static on it anymore because everything's been converted to HDMI cables. They ruined the nostalgia of it by modernizing TVs. Damn you. Darcy said, I have to do this. Why are you gay? Well, the simple answer for that is, Darcy, I like... And I guess I'll stop boring you guys now because that was the end of the questions that I got on Twitter. But I hope I didn't bore you guys too badly with this video. I do have more content coming this week. We're going to be talking about Christina Aguilera and Kelly Osbourne. We're going to be talking about Ozzy Osbourne and Sharon Osbourne. There's a lot that we're going to be covering in this week coming up. If you have any topics you'd like me to talk about, please feel free to let me know down below. But with that said, I hope you guys all have an amazing day and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.